Hello, dear students. Welcome to my class. I am your teacher Bhagat, and today I am going to teach you the chapter Father's Help, which is written by the famous story and novel writer named R.K. Narayan. Like some of his other stories, the main character of the story of the chapter is Swaminathan or Swami, who, as usual, is a naughty boy. He lives in his house with his mother and father. On a Monday morning, Swami decides to skip his school, but the things become difficult for him. How? Let's find out by reading this chapter. I am starting with the page-wise summary as the complete chapter explanation will make the video very long and difficult to upload or download as the chapter is a bit huge. So let's start. When the chapter opens before us, as I told you that it's a Monday morning and Swami does not want to go to his school. He pretends to be suffering from severe headache and tries to convince his mother not to send him to the school and says that there is not much work in the school today. When the mother tells him to go by jutka means rickshaw, he also refuses to do so and finally convinces his mother to keep him at home. When his plan is about to be successful, his father comes. Swami's father is a stubborn and aggressive type of person. Stubborn means a person who doesn't change his or her opinion whether his decision is good or bad. So, his father is a stubborn and aggressive type of person. That means Swami's father. The father rebukes him, that means Swami, and tells him to get ready for the school despite of headache. Now, Swami says he has become late for the school and the teacher will beat him. When the father asks the name of the teacher, Swami says Mr. Samuel will beat him. Then Swami says Mr. Samuel punishes the students who come late, especially boys. He is very violent. One day he made to sit a latecomer boy on the knees for the whole period after giving 6 cuts. Cuts here means marks of the cane. Cane means stick. Even the headmaster is afraid of him. Then he gave a lurid. Lurid means shocking account. Account means detail of Samuel's violent behavior. Swami tells his father regarding the violent Samuel cane the children in their hands till the hands of the students start to bleed. Then the father wrote a complaint letter against Mr. Samuel to give it to the headmaster and gave it to Swami. He told him to give it to the headmaster just in the morning, taking it as a challenge to send Swami to the school. The name of the school is Albert Mission School. Now Swami feels stuck and takes himself as a worst perjurer, means a person who gives false statement against anyone. He thought he was not such a bad man that he described him. that means Mr. Samuel, to his father. While going to school, actually, he thinks that Mr. Samuel is a gentle person who has even cracked jokes on Swami, which he never minds. But on the other hand, he thinks to justify himself. An incident comes to the mind of Swami when Mr. Samuel, the maths teacher, bleeded the knuckles. Knuckles means joints in the fingers of a boy studying in the first standard, and he smeared the blood on his face. That means first standard boy. Swami is highly confused, thinking of his teacher, Mr. Samuel, that whether he is good or bad. He keeps on walking, and the yellow building of the school appears. Swami is thinking that his letter can take away the job of his teacher, and even he can be in jail for this. He feels the letter as a bulge. Bulge means big size burden. He is feeling like an executioner. Executioner means a person who hangs the criminals. He feels angry with the father and enters the school with a very heavy heart. On this page, means page number 24, we also come to know how Mr. Samuel looks when Swami thinks about him. He has dark face, that means Samuel's. He has dark face with red streaked eyes and line of moustache that are thin. He has unshaven cheeks and chin and generally wears a yellow coat. Swami feels sorrow for his teacher. When Swami enters the school gate, he decides to deliver the letter to the headmaster in the evening and let Mr. Samuel do something to justify the letter. Now, Swami enters the class thinking Mr. Samuel will beat him for coming late to the class, but he just asks the reason. Swami replies that he had a headache and the father has sent him saying that he should not miss a whole day of the school. Mr. Samuel agrees with the father and calls him a sensible man. When Mr. Samuel starts checking the homework, Swami thinks, now Mr. Samuel will do something violent, but totally opposite happens. The teacher shows a great tolerance. The period ends, and so the whole day. Last period comes. It was of history. History is even taught by Mr. Samuel. Swami decides to provoke his teacher to beat him. He asks loudly, why didn't Columbus come to India, sir? Mr. Samuel replies that Columbus lost his way, but when Swami argues further, Mr. Samuel tells him to sit down. Swami disturbs the class and shouts over and over again. He manages to provoke Mr. Samuel, who says, if you get up again, I will cane you. These are the words of the teacher. Swami feels happy to make the teacher angry. When the teacher, means Mr. Samuel, starts to teach Mughal period, Swami tries to disturb him even further. Now Mr. Samuel gets angry and he reminds him the warning, that means to Swami, and gives Swami about 8 cuts of cane, which Swami takes without any blenching. Blenching means showing signs of fear. In this way, the bell rings. Swami runs towards the room of the headmaster with his red hands having the letter of his father. The door of the room was locked. The peon tells him, that means Swami, that the headmaster has taken a half day leave and he is also going on a week long leave. He also comes to know, that means Swami comes to know, that in the absence of the headmaster, the assistant headmaster, means Mr. Samuel, will do the duty of the headmaster. On page number 28, the last page of the chapter, we come to know that Swami runs away without delivering the letter from the room of the headmaster. When Swami reaches home, the father calls him a coward. The father does not believe Swami when he tells that the headmaster has taken a week leave. He tells, I will deliver the letter when the headmaster will come. But the father takes the letter, tears it, and throws it into the dustbin. He says him not to come for help to him when Samuel will do something violent to him, even holds his throat. So in this way your chapter ends. Listen to the video over and over again and read the chapter. Goodbye for now.